I used to go into an office for work. Yes, I was a slave to my email inbox, meetings, and other people's schedules. That all took a lot of time away from me being at the beach. So I gave myself a new job. And now my daily goals revolve around being grateful, finding joy, and exploring Florida beaches, one shell and sea critter at a time, and sharing my journeys with you. Today, our adventure starts on Keewaydin Island. It's been a long time since I've visited the same exact beach 2 days in a row, but today's experience was totally different than the experience I had the day before. Yesterday, I managed to find these seashells, including my now favorite lightning whelk ever, but my favorite beach days are when I get to find lots of great shells and meet lots of great critters. And luckily today is going to be one of those days. Now, I had to set my alarm pretty early for today's adventure. We started at dark o'clock, and I'm not the only shell seeker on the boat this morning. We're all trying to catch that low tide. And as the timing goes, the tide's going to be really low right before I need to leave. But look at the water rushing out. So the tide is going out right now, even though it's pretty dark. So I'm going to stumble around for a little bit. There's no point. I can't record anything. So I am going to just kind of walk around for a little bit, wait for the sun to kind of peek up, and look at the crepuscular rays. This happened yesterday too. So those streaks of blue and pink, yeah, pretty, right? So when the light kind of refracts and reflects off different things, beautiful. Okay, because low tide does typically mean critters. We do have our first critter. It's a lettered olive. Yeah, it's not really doing too much of anything, so we're just going to keep moseying along. I feel like the shelling theoretically should kind of get better and better as the morning goes on. We shall see. Oh, lovely. So that is a calico scallop. Yeah, clearly I snagged that because of the bright orange color. Awesome. Yep, real pretty. I like the calico scallops. They just come in so many different color variations. Here's another one. I love that burst on it. They should have named these the variable calico scallops just because there's so many variations in the colors. Now, I did mention we are going to say hi to a couple of critters, which is going to be really, really exciting. And we are going to find a couple of seashells, and I'm going to let you in on the real secret of shelling. Be grateful for everything you find, including the experience you get to have, and every trip to the beach will be awesome. So if you're ready to see what all is out there for us today, let's go to the beach. Okay, I love the nine-armed sea star. They're just so creepy looking in the most awesome way. So they're big. This is pretty big. I'm going to put my hand down so you can look. Look at all that's little tube feet. So they have a water vascular system. There's water within their bodies, and they kind of can control all these little arms using that water vascular system. And it does move, not this creature. We're going to see another one, and I'm going to show you how it uses those little tube feet to kind of in concert, they all just kind of move the creature along. It looks like it's trying to say hi. I swear it is. Hi, buddy. Hi. Okay, a little fist bump for the nine-armed sea star here. Now, their bodies are like hard. It's not like soft. It feels like, I don't know, like the way that maybe a shark would feel. So it's not soft, and they're big. Look at how big they are. Oh, so I love them. I've seen them kind of like propped up. So their stomachs are going to be on that underside of that disc center. And yes, if they lose their arms, they will be able to grow them back. This one appears to have had all its arms for quite a while. Oh, I think they're so cool. Oh, that was fun. So the nine-armed sea star. All right, here is another lettered olive. And that's okay. So they also move really cool. I'm going to show you a really cool creature in just a minute. and they undulate. It's really, really interesting. Oh, I see another nine-armed sea star. All right, here's another one, kind of bent up, and you can see. Let's see if we can see this one. I don't think this is a creature that really is like motoring, but you can see where its arms used to be and where they are now. Yeah. Now they typically eat clams, and they are actually good for the ecosystem. They kind of help regulate keeping the clams at bay so their populations don't get out of control and kind of destroy seabeds and things like that. No, is this the one that was moving like fast for a sea star? Yeah, check it out. Look. So clearly it's trying to get to the water. Isn't that cool? So they start their life as like larvae. They just kind of float around, do their thing until they eventually settle to the seafloor, and then they will grow those iconic arms. So they lead a really interesting life, and they aren't fast. I mean, you can see they kind of creep along, so they don't chase their prey. They kind of outlast them. They'll wrap their arms around that clam and just pull and pull and pull until eventually there's a little crack in the there's an opening, and then it's going to push its stomach into the clam and then start just digesting that way. Oh, I think they're awesome. Look how did you see how far it moved? Oh, that was really cool. Beautiful morning. I'm so excited. I already got to see a couple of those nine-armed sea stars and the creatures. And the light is coming up enough at this point, so hopefully my camera will cooperate and we'll be able to start finding some seashells. All right, here's a jingle or a baby's foot, along with a little side of seaweed. Yeah, a little bit of grass there. So that's a jingle. Fun shell. They're pretty ubiquitous. They're pretty common, but still fun. And a calico clam. Perhaps that was consumed by that nine-armed sea star. Just kind of pulled it open. Lucky for me, they have a pretty shell that I do like to collect. So that is a calico clam. No, this creature. Okay, ready? So this is only, I think, the third live moon snail I've ever found. So this is a shark eye. We're not going to be able to determine if it's a true shark eye or false shark eye, because we're not going to be able to see that. Well, we're going to be able to see the underside of the animal, but not the underside of the animal's shell. So a shark eye can fit. So that massive globby body will fit back into that shell. And it does have a operculum, but it's inflated itself with seawater. So it's on the hunt. And you can see its little antennas. Oh, I'm so excited. All right, I'm going to have to adjust it. I don't want it to like flap off my hand. Oh, I wish I had a third arm. This would make this a lot more easy. Look at the little antennas. Now, the lettered olive does a similar kind of movement, this like undulating. And that's why I sometimes look at those olives and I just kind of wait to see if they're going to make this movement. But that is what a live shark eye looks like. Now, interesting. So shark eyes drill holes. So somewhere in the anatomy of this squishy oh, look at the little antennas. It's able to drill holes into its prey. And I try, I'm sorry. Yeah, I meant to be more delicate. Ew, there you go. Oh, that was so cool. And again, so I'm just going to kind of tuck it in at this point. Just kind of tuck it back into the sand. Since I dug it up, I feel bad. Just kind of, I'm not going to leave it exposed. So I'll just kind of let it, there you go. Gently tuck it back in. And then I was able to see its little, I guess its little siphon. Yep, right there. Just kind of moved. So yeah, it's hunting that shark eye. Oh, that was incredible. I don't get to see them often. Oh, that was so cool. Did you think that was cool as I did? I love the animals. Now that is a lovely sea. Look how pretty the pattern is on that. So that's going to be a calico scallop. And if it had the other side attached, it would look different because the two sides do not look identical. Okay, so the tide clearly is out. It's going out and out and out for a minute. And then it'll start coming back in and I'm going to have to leave. That's the way it is today, and that's okay. Better than not coming at all, right? So happy that that's empty. I've been finding couple of those live ones. So there is an empty lettered olive. Terrific. All right. Yeah, I was gonna say that's a piece of a true tulip. And yes, that is what that is. Whoop, slippery piece of true tulip. Okay, so they get a lot bigger. They seem to have a lot more of those pretty bright colors. Oh well, like breadcrumbs. Keep hunting. Oh, there's a shark eye, and that's empty. See, they're complete with a drill. Did I see a drill hole? I thought I did. Now this one, the aperture was broken, but the animal went back and was able to repair it. Okay, and it is a true shark eye. Okay, there was no drill hole. I thought I saw one. Oh, that's cool. I like that it was able to repair the lip because a lot of times they're just kind of chewed up. That is pretty, Shell. All right, there's a live lettered olive. And its body, like I said, like the moon snail, it kind of does that like undulating. Not this one. This one's clearly just it's on a mission. Oh, is this the Look, did you see the little shrimp? The shrimp's like, oh, I'm getting the heck out. Oh, yeah. Because those letter olives, they are predators. It is on the hunt. Yeah, that little shrimp or whatever that was, it knew better. It knew to get the heck out of Dodge. Okay. What a fun morning. Me and a bunch of other people that were on the Hemingway shuttle. That's how I got here today. So I am employing this, and it does make it easier to look through the surface of the water, and I see a sand dollar. All right, so yep, there we go. So I was using that tray. I was using the pitcher the day before, but it only gave me about like a 6-inch diameter area, and the tray is a little bit bigger. I'm able to see more. I didn't need a tray to see that. So I had mentioned, yeah, the bigger shells, not always, a majority of the time, they're in the deeper water. Yeah, that's a horse conch. Probably me and a whole bunch of other people have kind of checked out that shell. I'm gonna leave that here. Perhaps someone else at some point will snag that. You never know. It looks nice with plants. I do like shells and plants. All right, that water is ripping out. So when I said that the tide is going out, you can kind of see. So clearly the Gulf is to the right, so the water is heading that way. All right, another sand dollar. Although, yeah, that one's missing a little couple of its bits and pieces and whatnot. All right, we're gonna leave that here and make it over. There's kind of, yeah, you can kind of see an island. It's just a lot of very shallow water, which is great. Okay, there's a banded tulip. It's kind of missing its little top. But again, like a breadcrumb, there's a banded tulip. So hopefully there'll be one in good condition. That looked like a piece of lightning whelk. It's an entire lightning whelk, and it's a critter too. Oh, that's got nice little spikes on it. But yep, the animal is still using its shell. That black. Oh, that's so cool. It's kind of going up the siphonal canal, the pointy part. The tail is really, that's what that is, the siphon. So just kind of tuck it in a little bit. All right, see what's out here. I am hoping for cones, so hopefully. No, did I manifest that? So I'm always looking for cones, frankly. That's not really a surprise, but specifically here at Keewaydin. Oh, that's a good one. Oh, it's just like perfectly shaped. Yeah, some of those letters a little smeared, like the ink was wet. Still really cool shells. Alphabet cone. Woohoo! And if I only get one, that's enough. Plenty. That's great. Between the critters and that one cone, I am happy camper. All right, there's a lightning whelk. That's, yeah, a little more not as pristine. I am a shell brat, so it's likely I'll save that for someone else. It's so funny how the sand is just shifting here. Like there's an island and it's very shallow. Anyway, the tide, it's still going out. And it's 77, so the weather's kind of changing. It's still early enough for it to be on the kind of cool side. This is a great time of year to visit this area. Though that is a little fighting conch. I know, that's why I love them, because you can show me like 10 shells that look completely different from each other, and every single one of them is going to be a fighting conch. Just love the variations of them. There's another one. An adult. Oh, nice stromboid notch. Very nice. So that will be an adult. Only adults are going to have that little notch. Very nice. So that is also a fighting conch, an adult fighting conch. Okay, here's another moon snail. Oh, that's funny. Some of them are like that. They just kind of, there is a lined moon snail that this is not one of those. This is a shark eye, false shark eye, but it just kind of has a lot of white on it. And that's just the way some of them are. All right, another fighting conch. Golden adult with its little notch. Lovely. Oh, I see spots. Yeah, I guess some other creatures saw spots too, and they put their beach stuff all over it. Yeah, I'm gonna keep it. It's a cone. So yeah, I took a minute. I don't want to hurt my hands. So yeah, the easy stuff, but yeah, that's probably gonna have a date with bleach. Okay, olive. Yes, a live olive. Okay. Sorry, my little squishy friend. Yeah, this kind of puts you back. Go find some clams or shrimp or whatever it is you do. What is that? Oh, turkey wing. Terrific. Or zigzag arc, the zebra arc. Apparently, these critters also attach themselves to substrates like jingles and jewel boxes and some of the other things. Huh, who knew? I did not. Oh, here's a rose petal talon. Just one. That's fine. Color's kind of delicate. They can range, actually, they can range from white to like a really, really bright pink. Or here's a little flash of orange, a little horse conch. That's not actually a conch. Ah, terrific. I like the bright orange color on those little guys. Sometimes they'll be more of a yellow. Oh, speaking of yellow, a Florida cone. Relatively well behaved. Only one little repair. Normally there's a whole bunch of them, but Florida cone and a little Florida horse conch. Oh, speaking of cones. All right, this one's been here a little while. It's a little more rounded. It's been hugged by the beach a couple times. Yep, it's a little white. So that's a little more of a classic seashell. It's just kind of been hanging out here for a minute. Oh, that's pretty. Oh, cool. Oh, it's much bigger than I thought it was going to be. So that is a pear whelk. Terrific. Great color on it, too. Nice size, great color. Oh, that's lovely. Yeah, lovely, lovely. I know it kind of has that channeled whelk shape on top, but we don't get the channeled whelks down here. If you're trying to ID your seashells, it's really important to know where the shell came from because certain shells don't live in certain areas. Now, that lightning whelk, yep, that's all the way from Texas, all throughout the Gulf in Florida. There is a lace murex. I don't think I've said lace murex in a really long time. There's been days where I would just find them one after another down on Keist. It's been a long time since I've had a day like that. But that was a lace murex. That's a piece of a, yeah. I still like checking them out though, and I still will do that just because a lot of times the shellendipity, you're looking at one thing and something else ends up, coming into your visions or gets your attention. So check it out. Be curious. Let's see. Oh, look at that. Hiding in plain sight. So another alphabet cone. That's how it happens. And it's just experience. You know what to look for. And if you do it over and over, you train your brain, you look for the patterns, and it's just those patterns now. There's an olive. All right, missing its little top. That's when my shell brat kicks in. Yep, shark eye. Oh yeah, that's been here for a minute. Oh, that live shark eye was so cool. So you just never know. Like out of all this, all of a sudden an alphabet cone will pop up. So you just never know. And that's why it's so fun. The variable ratio. Oh, there we go. Reward. Yep. So that's what it looks like. You're kind of just looking for an interrupted area, something that looks different. Oh, it's so cute. Like a little giraffe. Lovely. A cool thing about giraffes, they have the largest heart of the animals, land animals. They have very high blood pressure because they have to pump that blood all the way up into their brains. Beautiful calico scallops. We're going from giraffes to scallops. It's all fascinating. So yep, those calico scallops come in a lot of different variations. So clearly I am not alone on my quest to be here at low tide, even though it's going to come and go rather quickly. But I kind of plan my trips around low tide. If you can't plan, just go. I mean, that's by all means, just go to the beach. But I do like to try to time it with low tide, or I like being first at the beach as well. So here's another calico scallop. Lovely. I don't know what everybody else is looking for. So don't be discouraged if there's lots of other people. You just have no idea. Look at that. So now this is more typical of a shark eye. That one I picked up earlier was able to repair itself. I guess this one didn't quite have the time. Still a great shell though. A lovely, lovely shark eye. And okay, spots again. Yeah, it's so white. Oh, right. Oh no, I didn't see much white, did I? Oh, that's terrific. So another alphabet cone. Fantastic. Oh, the top of that's kind of funny. Neat, though. Yep, there's another lovely alphabet cone. Going home with more than one. Yay. Now, isn't that pretty? Some of the horse conchs will maintain, again, it's kind of rare, but they'll be that bright, bright orange. Isn't that beautiful? It's just a piece. I'm going to keep it, though. Just, yeah. I can always bring it back to the beach another time, but for now, I'm going to keep it. All right, here's a Cinctura hunteria. Nice size, nice bands on it. Fantastic. It is relatively common, not these days, but that is a banded tulip. So I was here literally yesterday, and I had a very different experience. I was still over here. I did manage to find that big lightning whelk, but I didn't see as many of the creatures. I did see hermit crabs, but I did not get to see those 9-armed moon snails, or 9-armed moon snail. That would be kind of cool. The 9-armed sea stars or the living moon snail. Speaking of, yeah, it's kind of cool, but I'm going to leave that there. So I guess I was just kind of comparing. What would I prefer? Would I prefer to find a couple of alphabet cones or really just one larger shell? And it occurred to me that it doesn't matter. I'm just one of those people, just throw me on the beach. I'm going to be happy regardless of what I find. Even if it's kind of broken, that's fine. I like checking it out. So yeah, doesn't matter to me what kind of day I get. It's still going to be awesome. All right, auger. Now, I'm very interested in making sure that it is empty. Hermit crabs love to hide in there. So I do that and I still can't tell. And now I'm going to blow in it. Now I'm feeling secure. Okay, now I feel like it is okay. So I'll do that too. I'll just kind of blow in it a little bit. So isn't that gorgeous? So it's a little auger. Beautiful. What is that? It's kind of fun coloring. Whoa! I cannot wait to see what that looks like cleaned up. So that is a fighting conch. Little green, little stripy. Oh, I cannot wait to see what that looks like. So we'll check that out at the very end of the video. Lovely fighting conch. All right, yeah, I thought it might be alive, but nope, it is empty. Lettered olive. I do admit, I do like the darker ones, I think. Or an albino. I'm still looking for that albino. Not yet. Well, would you look at that? Yeah, I've only found, I don't know, 5 or 6 of those. So that is an Atlantic pearl oyster. Look at, that's where it gets its name. All that nacre. Isn't that beautiful? So yeah, that is a shell from a pearl oyster. Gorgeous. I'm going to put the whole thing in bleach. I'm going to see what that looks like. I don't know that I've ever done that. We'll check that out at the end of the video too. All right, another banded tulip. Yep, that one has been here a minute. Made lots of friends with beach stuff. So I'll probably leave that. Fighting conch. Yeah, we should probably check that out, right? It's very orange. Oh yeah, that'll do. Oh yeah, yep. A lovely fighting conch, an adult fighting conch. And all right, pretty little calico scallop. And a worm snail. I think because it's just such a different shape than all the other things you kind of find, the worm snails. and they get that shape. They like to eat sponges, so they just kind of like twist themselves into a sponge, and then they have like a buffet. Right? Lettered olive, Florida cone. Yep. And this is why the tide is in my favor. It's still going out at this point. A horse conch. Yep. Oh, it's a peekaboo horse conch. Oh, cool. I like seeing the inside. I'm going to keep that. I know technically it's broken, but I'm going to keep it anyway. Is that spots? No, that's stripes. Bands. Or bands. Okay, not albino, but I think you're passing the shine test. Okay. Any spots? I'm looking. There's yellow. There's a nice little Florida cone. Whoa, it's like... Yeah, look at that! It's perfect. Lately, I guess all the really misbehaved Florida cones show up in the winter. I don't know. Lately, I've been finding these real pretty ones. So that's a Florida cone. Apple murex. Yeah, that lovely, what you would call it, the texture of the shell. Yeah, you've been hugged by the beach a little bit. You could be a little more angular, but still a apple murex. Okay, I broke out the tray and I see a cone there. And without the tray, it's just a little bit harder to see. Ah, that's what I'm talking about. Thank you, Trey. Although I do think this shell might have had, yeah, a little bit of a run-in maybe with a boring sponge. Still fun, though. Finding them is still very fun. Whoa. A big old Centura hunteria. Okay, so see how it's kind of blurry, and then once you get the tray, yeah, that just kind of clears it all up. So someone had made me a tool like this. It's just a little too big. Whoa, for me to bring on these kind of adventures. Another pear whelk with nice color too. Oh, that is fantastic. Great. I'm glad I brought that little tray. Oh my gosh, it's been such a great morning so far between the shells and the critters. But I think it's high time for me to be quiet for a little while and let you enjoy some beach time. What do we have? Okay. Decent looking shell, but we have another blue-eyed hermit crab. Oh, look, it's got its own little personal pool. So very nice shell. This is not one of the creatures I found yesterday, because yesterday the shells all had barnacles. One was in a pear whelk. So this is a blue-eyed hermit crab. And that's the best view we're gonna get. Hey, critter. And it's got like legs all the way down its back, so it kind of help secure itself within that shell. So it will change that shell as it grows. All the other animals, they keep their shell, and the shell gets bigger as the animal gets, the animal actually creates a larger shell. Not the hermit crabs, they just kind of borrow. Go on, you adorable little critter. Nutmeg? Practically don't have to even check. Yeah, I found one. I probably have picked up thousands of nutmegs and only seen one living one. But at least I got to see one. That was fun. Whoa, so sea glass. That does not happen all that often over here in Southwest Florida on the East Coast, sure, but yeah, legitimate sea glass. Terrific. Oh, a zigzag, yeah. It's one of those fighting conchs. They get me all the time. A lovely little fighting conch. So when I go on my shell tours, I do always go with SWFL Shell guide. But when I come to Keewaydin, sometimes I do snag a ride with the Hemingway Water Shuttle. This is a do-it-yourself kind of trip. It is extremely economical. You're going to need to be your own guide once you get over there. But I do, if I'm not with Allie, I love getting a ride with them. So garbage. There was only this one piece of garbage. And at least there's no microplastics, but it only added up to 0.25 ounces. And that's okay because in total, I have removed a little over 83 pounds of garbage from our beaches. And thank you to everybody else who participates in garbage removal. So I took a sand dollar, a couple of those giant Atlantic cockles, some discolored black shells. Those are banded tulips, a jingle, lettered olives. There's a lace murex, a apple murex, there's a rose petal talon, a piece of sea glass, an auger, a lightning whelk. There's some Florida cones and turkey wings. And then here are some calico scallops. There's a kind of my favorites over here to the left and a couple of those orange ones. There's some calico clams, some sunray Venus clams, a couple of horse conchs, some fighting conchs. See a worm snail sneaking in on top. And then I kind of had a lot of favorites today. All the shark eyes, those pear whelks, the fighting conch, the pearl oyster, and then all of the alphabet cones. Now, I did say that we were going to take a look at a couple of these shells after I cleaned them up. And why don't we go do that? I love seeing the transformation. So I didn't say I was going to do it, but let's just quickly take a look at that alphabet cone with all that beach stuff. Bleach. That's it. Just 100% bleach. Now, my bleach is perhaps getting a little weaker. I might need to change it out. I do use it over and over, but at least it did a relatively good job on first pass on that shell. This one, same thing. This just bleached. Now, I did notice on the clean shell, well, I mean, all the green is gone, but there is some periostracum perhaps still on there, and that's just kind of making me think maybe it's time to switch out the bleach. But again, I just like using it over and over as to not waste it. Now, the last shell was that pearl oyster, and I just plopped the whole thing in bleach, and guess what happened? It removed all the periostracum. So that's the back and then the front. And after seeing this, you know, I think I might have done this before in the past. Yeah, there's a little bit that didn't come off, but the entire thing is pearlized. I'm probably going to make something of that. I just think that is so pretty. So what a fun adventure. I love seeing all the animals, and obviously I got a couple of great souvenirs, and this is the point where I say thank you. I am so grateful because if you didn't watch and if Patreons, you didn't monetarily support me, there'd be no trips to the beach and there'd be no 9-armed sea stars and incredible encounters. I'm telling you, that moon snail was out of this world. So thank you. Thank you for allowing me to go out and experience everything that Florida has to offer. I feel like I learned something new all the time. Next week, we're going island hopping. I don't even know exactly which islands quite yet, but I suspect it's going to be pretty fun. So I'm going to throw caution to the wind and see where the boat takes me. So until then, I hope you have yourself a really great week, and I'll see you again next Sunday.